Hello, welcome to another video broadcast of Master Investors Company. Today's episode is going to be about how to profit from inflation and what is inflation and can we really profit from inflation. I'm going to show you exactly how the ultra wealthy we get to profit from any type of market, and that is what creating wealth is all about. I'm going to also leave the link below of the blog post that we created for this episode so that you can have it in writing as well and get more out of it. But the first thing we have to understand about wealth is that wealth is created by being able to cash flow from any type of market. As a true master investor or an inside investor, right, is that we understand that the market goes up and down. And we don't so much predict the market because it's not about predicting the market, but it's about cash flowing for any type of market and preparing from when the crashes come and so forth. So it's all about acquiring cash flowing assets, whether it's a real estate, whether it's a commodity, whether it's a intangible product that is an informational product, maybe a digital product that sells throughout any type of economy constantly without us having to work. In other words, we have a system of systems working, doing the selling and telling for us. And we can do so today with the technology that we have in our fingertips. It has never been so easy to attach ourselves to cash flow, to passive income, because the technology is our best friend. This phone right here, this camera right here, is a wealth making tool, literally, because it allows us to connect with people around the world on an automation basis. We don't have to be present. When you're watching this video, I'm already doing something else. And so it is amazing that we have this today, because now we can get rich quick. It's not a scam to get rich quick. Actually, getting rich slow is a scam. We have to understand that we can tap into sales every single day through the internet. And also, if we learn about real estate, we can acquire real estate and use other people's money, OPM, and use other people's time, OPT, to pay for the loan, for the good debt. There are two types of debt: good debt and bad debt. Good debt puts money into our pocket, and bad debt takes money out of our pocket. So if you are facing with bad debt because you have credit cards that are taking money every single month and you're working hard to pay for those interests to keep up with that debt that you have with those items that you maybe purchased not knowing that they were liabilities. Maybe they look good, maybe it was a piece of clothing that you like, but maybe you're just using it once a month or maybe once every 6 months, and it's not making you, producing you money at all. So that will be considered liability, will consider bad debt. But in order to come out of bad debt, it's not working harder. And that's not what we teach here at Master Investor, because obviously we're all about creating wealth. And we're all about using the new rules of money and understanding the business principles that work in all economies and how to profit from any type of market and use the ultra wealthy's mindset to be able to create wealth for ourselves. And so the way to come out of bad debt is to create good debt. In other words, we turn around and we start looking for loans and credit cards, and that we can place into good investments. And I'm talking about maybe, like I said, a home that you acquire and you turn it into an Airbnb. Now it's renting every single day of the month. It's bringing 3 times more than the mortgage it is. And so that will be considered good debt, because the loan is being paid by other people's money. It's being paid with somebody else's effort, other people's time. And we also acquired the debt with other people's money because we went to the bank and asked for a loan. So the bank can become our best friends because they have something that is called CAMO score. And the CAMO score of a bank is the same thing as the credit score for you and I. And so the way they improve their CAMO score is by acquiring more cash flowing assets into their portfolio. So the bank is in the business of what? Of lending money. And that's how money is created, with debt. Today, money is created by debt. And so that's why we do not pay taxes on debt, on credit cards. It's tax free. And so it's important that we understand how to use debt so that we can elevate ourselves into financial well-being and reach more riches, because we lower our taxes. Because if we use debt to invest, then we can literally pay zero in taxes, because debt is tax free, and that's how money is created today, and that's why it's tax free. And so the bank can literally become our best friends when we show them that we have lucrative deals for them. And so what we say here at Master Investor, it does not take money to make money. It takes an idea backed up by confidence. What's the job? The number one job of an entrepreneur is to raise capital. And the number one skill is to sell. So if we learn how to put a deal together and we can bring it to the bank, we can show the bank, hey, look, this is a building that is for sale. It's been making money the past 5 years, even through bad economies, and it's cash flowing every single month. And actually we can improve certain things of the building that we can then turn around and increase the rent of the renters, whether it's an office building or maybe is a condo place or whatever the case may be. But we have to look for places that we can improve and we can increase the rent of the renters and the tenants, right? Because if we have a fixed rate with the bank, and then doesn't matter whether we are in inflation or the economy crashes, that fixed rate stays the same no matter what. But the rent for the tenants shifts this according to inflation. So that's why this episode is about how we can profit from inflation. And if we have products, digital products, we can also do that. If we also have a grocery store, or we're selling a certain type of product that people want, we have control over the price of that product. But if a person is trading time for money and is working as an employee, that person does not have control over the time, right? Because they have to trade their time to get a paycheck. And that's why during inflation, people start to feel poor, because they now, it takes more money to buy what they used to purchase for a lot less with their money. So that is what inflation is. Inflation is when the economy forces the person to purchase the same item that they used to purchase with more money than they used to. So it costs us more money to purchase a gallon of milk or a gallon of gas than before. So the person immediately starts to feel poor, because they can't really duplicate their time unless they learn the tricks that we teach here. Not tricks, they're not tricks, they're really the new rules of money and the new knowledge of money that will allow them to leverage themselves and hedge from any type of market. And so inflation can be our best friend. In the here at Master Investors community, we always welcome inflation. We always prepare for inflation, because it is the best times. It's actually a fast way to get richer, because the loans are a lot cheaper, because the banks need to lend money. The banks are in the business of lending money. Same thing with private investors and private institutions that lend money. They're in the business of lending money. They just want to ensure that whatever they're allocating their money is going to grow and multiply, and it's a true asset. And an asset is something that puts money into our pocket whenever we're not working. So the bigger, the better, because the bank stops looking at us as an individual. They start looking at the investment itself, because that's where the money is going to go. Okay, so it's important that we bring great deals to the bank and become partner with them, because once they are on a deal with us, that means a green light. That's a safety net, because if the bank is on our deal, that means we have a great deal. We have found and put together something that is of interest of the bank, which means that we found a true asset. The bank are experts in knowing what is an asset and what is a liability, because remember, they're in the business of lending money, and they're in the business of increasing their camo score by acquiring more assets into their portfolio. Same thing with us as master investor. Here, we in our community, we teach and we demonstrate how to increase our asset column with cash flow and assets. It's the same thing with the bank. The bank wants to have cash flow and assets in their asset column. So if we can share that asset with the bank and get the bank into our side, then that is amazing, because the bank doesn't care if we are also making a lot of cash flow with them. They just want to know that, hey, this is a true asset because it has a track record, it has a team in place, tenants are there, contracts are in place, and there's room to improve the building in many ways, such as maybe if we have a building of condos, maybe we can add washers and new dryers, and we can maybe change the AC units and paint the walls, and then we can turn around and charge $300 more for each tenant. And so immediately the value of the building goes up, the cash flow goes up for us and for the bank, and inflation hits, then we can also turn around and charge more for that, because the rents goes up and down with inflation. So we can shift that and we can say, okay, we're in hyperinflation now, we're going to charge $100 more, and the renters have to pay that, the tenants have to pay that, but our loan with the bank stays the same because we have a fixed rate. So it's all about understanding the new rules of money, and also becoming an inside investor, which is a master investor, someone that knows how to read a financial statement, someone that knows the difference between good and bad debt, someone that understands what is an asset and a liability, and then being able to put a deal together and raise capital and bring in others to our deal and using no money from our side. That is what we're here to do at Master Investors Companies, to elevate the financial well-being of all of our partners. If you like this episode, please leave us a comment below, share it and like it. I'm going to leave the link below for the blog post. And remember, creating wealth is not about predicting the market, but it's about being prepared for any type of market and being able to cash flow in any type of market. So it's about leverage and hedging during inflation. And how do we do that? By having the right knowledge. And here at Master Investor, we can actually give you that knowledge. So visit our website at www.masterinvestor.education and partner up with us in any of our courses that we have, and check out all of our other social media platforms at Master Investor. Look for the logo, bringing you the good and bad news of money, and also listen to our podcast on a daily basis so that you can increase your financial IQ with the right financial literacy. Much love, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.